Hi, this is Jessica with Dining Traveler, and welcome to the Dining Traveler cooking series where we cook dishes from our favorite destinations. Well, I'm in my favorite destination, Puerto Rico, and I'm at Lulo Sweets with chef owner Andrea Santiago. And what are we making today?
Hello, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Today we're making tres leches, and that's one of those classic desserts that everybody loves in Puerto Rico. It's one of our best sellers. So we're gonna start by making the base, which is a very fluffy sponge cake. We're gonna make the milk mix to bathe it in, to kind of soak it in, and then the meringue, and we're gonna finish with the torching of it. Simple.
Sounds delicious, so let's get started. So what's the first step?
Okay, the first step, we're gonna start with our sponge cake, and we're gonna start with the already separated eggs. We have the yolks and we have our egg whites. So the egg whites are gonna go into this mixer because we're gonna mix both things. And you could use, if you have two mixers, you can do both in mixers, but I like to do the yolks by hand.
Okay.
It's a good workout.
Yeah.
We're gonna put some vanilla extract with the yolks, and we're gonna do half of the sugar with the yolks and then half of the sugar with the egg whites once they start to fluff and come up. So we can put this up. That's about right. You should get a lot more pale and
Like that pale yellow.
yes, like a ribbon texture and double up in
Volume.
In volume, yes. This is my daily weekly workout. Because it's usually a batch of like 20, 40
Yeah, I was gonna
eggs.
ask. Yes.
So you can get this started as you whip this by hand. You're gonna start it in like slow medium, and then gradually, as it starts foaming, you turn up
The power.
the speed, and it's gonna keep on foaming. You're gonna add the other half of the sugar to this mixture, but almost at the end of the process, and it's gonna make it very shiny and stable. And now you put the speed a little higher. So now we can start adding our sugar little by little here. And now we'll put it in high. I think we're good there.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe I'm gonna get the edges a little and just feel the consistency. That's beautiful, yes. And I think this is ready too. I like to do like semi-stiff, hard peaks for this. This was the first step. You should sift your dry ingredients. All-purpose flour with the baking powder and some salt. And then we're gonna do a third of this into the mixture. So this part here, you don't have to be as careful yet.
Just as long as everything is dissolved, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So now we can add a third of our egg whites on the egg yolk and flour mixture. Don't do this mixture here because then you're gonna bring all of that air down and it's not gonna be fluffy and spongy.
And this, like the egg whites, that's what makes the cake nice and fluffy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is when we start doing the folding method, and you do the edges, or you can do it from the center up. You pick it up like from the bottom and then you bring it up. We're gonna do another third of the flour, and this is gonna fluff in the oven and it's gonna grow. It has the help of a little baking powder as well. So yeah, this is a process of patience and just be gentle and nice with it.
But this is baking therapy, right?
Yes, yes.
So I have the funniest story of how I met Andrea, which is funny and cute at the same time. I was at Casa Vieja in Ciales, and I was with the owner, Lilia Mayala, who knows your dad, and she was showing him the Dining Traveler Guide to Puerto Rico, and he's like, you have to meet my daughter. She is the best pastry chef in Puerto Rico. And not because I'm her dad, but it was like so cute and endearing. And I was like, I need to meet Andrea. You know?
That's funny.
And I came here and I ordered some parcha pies, and I've been in love ever since. I send people here all the time. So I'm so happy that we're here shooting together.
That's so funny. I believe every word of it because my dad will talk to anyone. So thank you, papi. Gracias.
A shout out to Mr. Santiago.
So, you get it. You keep on going with this process until everything is mixed. And now we do the final third of flour. But yes, this has been our home. We started here And at first, I was just supplying restaurants, which is how I started, supplying friends' restaurants and other colleagues and cafes and all of that. And then little by little, people started asking for desserts that they could just pick up. And I said, well, why not? We do both now. I still supply some restaurants and catering events. And then people can also come here once a week on Fridays and pick up sliced desserts, like little slices of our seasonal menu.
And make sure you follow her on Instagram, because if you're hungry, which has happened to me, I'm scrolling and I see those delicious like parcha pies, and you do a lot of work with local fruits here in Puerto Rico, and everything looks delicious.
Okay, so now we're ready to, this is already greased, so I don't do flour over my grease.
Okay.
And that's, some people do that, but I don't. So just straight up on your preferred method of greasing. You can do your spray grease, you can do butter, and then I just like to even it out with a bench scraper. You can also, if you miss any spots like that, it's okay, don't panic. We can mix it a little like this.
Okay.
This should take 30 minutes in a 350 degree oven, but you should also know your oven. Some ovens are like they blast the heat, and it should cook maybe 30 minutes.
Okay, so start looking around the 20-minute mark.
Yes, yes. Okay. If you're not sure, just set up at 20 minutes, check it, and then not before that, because also you could lose some of that air from the sponge, but after 20 minutes, you should be fine to start.
And we already had a cake pre-made, because that's the magic of television. And let's talk about the steps and how we're gonna make the milk bath and make it pretty.
Yes, this is very super easy. I like to do kind of equal parts of the milks, and this is where you can get creative too. Okay. You can use any kind of milk that you like, coconut, macadamia. I mean, we have so many options now. Yeah. You can also do your own flavorings, vanilla, almond. Some people do liquor. So here I have a can of evaporated milk. So this is about 14 ounces. And then we do condensed milk. If you're gonna substitute the condensed milk, make sure it's a sweetened milk. And this is a can. It's about also 12 to 14 ounces. And this is about a cup of heavy whipping cream. And then again, if you wanna substitute with half and half, you can do so. Just get creative. Mix it thoroughly. If you wanna put it in the blender to mix it well, you can also do that, or an immersion blender. And once that is mixed, you're gonna poke some holes to make sure the cake absorbs everything very well.
And you kind of need a deep container too, so it can really soak up all that milk.
And also, if you wanted to add more milk, you can totally open another can, because this should be very, very wet. We're gonna leave these rest for a little and soak all of this milk. I recommend letting this rest in the fridge overnight.
Awesome. So now to the final part is the meringue.
The meringue, yes. So for the meringue, I always like to do 1 part egg whites and 2 parts sugar. Double the amount of sugar as your egg whites. It's just gonna make sure that meringue becomes very glossy and pretty, and it's not like foamy and dry. And you just need a very, very clean bowl with your egg whites and then regular granulated sugar. Some people like to add cream of tartar. You don't really need it, but if you have a recipe that you wanna add that to, feel free. Yeah. So like we did for the sponge cake, we're gonna start this up and we're gonna let it foam gradually. Okay. And increase the speed as it starts foaming. So I think this looks good, this foam, and you start putting your sugar little by little. We don't want it to deflate the air bubbles. Ooh, the table is dancing.
Se emocionó, se emocionó.
Y bate que bate el chocolate.
Channeling our inner Irichacón. And thank you, Andrea, for having us here in your studio in Santurce. And where can people find you if they want to order?
Yes, well, you can find me through social media, Instagram, Facebook, lulos.sweets, and we also have a website, www.lulosweets.com. And yes, and just any inquiries you have, just you can write us and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And here in Santurce.
Yes, and now we are going to call your #1 critic. We have a little special guest. Yes. So let's see how he likes the Tres Leches.
Okay. This is how we have to call him. Luca, Tres Leches is ready. It's the only way I can get him to come ASAP.
Oh.
Here you go. You can only have one bite. Ah! I'm kidding. Let me help you. There you go. Now let her try some and then the rest is yours. Okay? You can go for it. How is it? Yeah?
He had you.
Oh. Yay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, once it's in there, it's game over for mom. Okay, bye.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember, if you're in Puerto Rico and in the San Juan area, make sure you check Lulo Sweets and Savory. Check out their social for their hours. Thank you so much for this amazing class.
Thank you for having me.
Now we're going to go and eat cake. Adios.
Bye.